Hello, wannabes and creators, and welcome back to another episode of The Business of Art, the podcast that attempts to demystify business for artists and additionally lets me talk for a very long time without anybody interrupting me. This is one of our mini episodes for the Kickstarter season, but before we get started, considering we're talking about Kickstarter, I want to tell you about the secret weapon that I use for every single Kickstarter that I do, and really every day of my life. It is Crowdster, and it is how we build our Twitter profile and maintain robust engagement. I highly recommend Crowdster, if for no other reason than for their social capital gauge. It allows you to go into Crowdster and see how much you can expect to raise right now. If you don't know why that's important, let me tell you. Building an audience is the only important part of a Kickstarter. Honestly, building and then engaging your audience and activating them are the only parts that matter when it comes to getting your Kickstarter off the ground. All of the successful Kickstarters have done months, if not years, of building an audience. And with Crowdster, you can see on their social capital gauge exactly how to do that. And now, if you go to kickstarteruniversity.com/Crowdster, that's Crowdster with a K, you can find out exactly what you can expect to raise from your Kickstarter right now and where you need to build to get exactly what you need. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about Kickstarter this week. I'm going to tell you, considering that we're launching Katrina Hates the Dead tomorrow at Long Beach Comic-Con, our time has pretty much been spent on that and on launching Kickstarter University. And here's the thing, they always talk about fatigue when it comes to a Kickstarter. Usually that fatigue is in your audience getting bombarded by everything you're trying to tell them. I found a different kind of fatigue this week, and it's just I'm kind of sick of this Kickstarter. If every other Kickstarter was 30 days and this one is 40 days, so I would be done right now. My Kickstarter would be over. I'd be able to celebrate the success of it. But instead, I have 10 more days that I have to promote this Kickstarter. That doesn't really fly for me that much because let's just go down the list of things that we're launching in the next month. Kickstarter University is launching this month. That is our membership site along with freekickstartercourse.com. Basically, how we give back to the community and show you guys how to crush it on Kickstarter. We also are launching my book Gherkin Boy, which is my webcomic that I drew and wrote. WonderCon. We're also launching Katrina Hates the Dead. On top of that, I can finally make this announcement. We have a children's book called I Can't Stop Tooting a Love Story, which is a kid's book, which is about farting, but it's mostly about unconditional acceptance and how to basically march to the beat of your own drummer. I love this book. It is from writer Garrett Gunn, whose comic book Battle for Bedtime is fantastic. And one of my very good friends, Nicholas Torres, did the art for it. He also does Faithless on the Wannabe Press website. So it is a fantastic book, and you can find more information on can'tstoptooting.com. That Kickstarter is launching on April 5th. So I'm a little bit worn out with Kickstarter. I'm going to be honest. I'm dealing with it every day with Kickstarter University. I'm talking about other kinds of launches with our other products, with Katrina Hates the Dead and with Gherkin Boy. Plus, I've got a new Kickstarter to plan for. So 40 days is just too long for a Kickstarter to go on. Now, the reason that we did that was because we had to launch a book a little bit early, and we definitely wanted both Long Beach and Pasadena Comic-Con to fall inside the window of our launch. It's very important to have live launches within your Kickstarter so that you can get all of that interest. People back and buy the most when you are in person talking to them. We also wanted to make sure we had some reason for them to sign up for the mailing list. That is a very good reason. That being said, I'm going to say it again. It is too long. It's just too long. My God, it's too long. There's 10 more days left, which means I have to engage this audience for 10 additional days. And that's not even the longest Kickstarter that you can have. You can have a Kickstarter that goes all the way to 60 days. I couldn't imagine doing a 60-day Kickstarter and still trying to keep that energy. It was all that I had to find a humiliating thing this week. And I couldn't even do one myself. I had to go and say my dog, Nala, who knows a lot of tricks, is going to do a bunch of tricks next week because I just am burnt out. And I know if I'm burnt out, every other person is burnt out. On the other hand, we got a couple of fantastic reviews this week. One from Books and Barrels, and then the fantastic Fanboy Comic. Comics wrote a review on their site from Christina Brookman, who is fantastic. And they both said the same sort of things. They both said that this is a very blunt look at suicide and death, and that the book is important for people who are in young adult age ranges, because books generally don't talk in such raw emotion about things like death and loss. More importantly, they don't look at both the dark and the humorous sides of life and how you get over all of that grief. I do think this is an important book for kids of a certain age, because that's what I found when I was doing my analysis, is books for young adults, when they deal with death, they don't really deal with the hardest part, which is the psychological part. Yeah, they say it sucks. They say it's crap. They have some sarcastic and humor in it, but they don't talk about being really screwed up by the death of someone close to you or by your own death. And they don't talk about how when you lose someone close to you, you change. They don't talk about how sometimes when you change, you become a different person, maybe even an unlikable person, maybe an obsessive person. That is the loss for your friends. So your friends are suffering loss from losing you, while you're suffering loss from losing someone that you love. I didn't pull any punches. I mean, the book is a mystery, but it's a mystery in a very weird, quirky way. The MacGuffin of the whole script and the whole book is very odd, and it's clearly something that no rational human being would ever consider evidence. But it's just proof that our main character, Delilah, isn't bound by rationality. She's not bound by evidence. She just wants her dad back, and she's willing to do anything to still keep a little piece of him alive. And as long as she's trying to prove that his death is a murder, she can hold on to him a little bit. What the book's really about is death and loss and grief, and how we grieve and how we change while we grieve, and how bright, cheerful person can become wholly unlikable and mean and just try and pull back from society. And if their friends and other people don't try really, really hard, it's really easy to lose them. The book's about how everybody deals with grief, not just Delilah, but how her schoolmates, how her best friend, how her mother, how her aunt, how her school administrator, how her principal all deals with grief, and how this one person not only changes herself, but changes all of the people around her. And the fact that both of the reviews that came out so far, and it's just 2, so it's a small sample size, but both of the reviews hit exactly what I was trying to get on the head. So those are the sorts of things that have been happening this week. We're starting to see some reviews. We're also starting to gear up for our other launch. We will be at Long Beach Comic-Con this weekend, so if you're at Long Beach Comic-Con, come and see us. Artist Alley, booth M7. We'll be showing off Katrina. We'll be doing free crappy drawings. We'll be doing all the things that we always do. I also have a panel, the Rumble Room, at 1:30 on Sunday. I'll be doing a panel called How to Crush It on Kickstarter. And this weekend, I have our first Snapchat going for the experience of going to this con. So we just loaded our first couple on. We're going to do this throughout the weekend, and we're going to see how it goes. Everyone keeps telling me how awesome Snapchat is, and so I'm going to try and post a story about Long Beach Comic-Con and all the stuff that we're doing. Have a lot of fun with it if I remember to continue to do it, and we'll see how it goes. So let's pull this back to you guys and how you guys can benefit from this. In this week, I learned, again, to not pay for marketing that you can do yourself. You can do every single thing that marketing companies are doing. You just have to learn how. And that's what Kickstarter University does. Gratuitous plug for Kickstarter University. Go there and learn how all the marketing companies work, so you don't get taken in to spend hundreds of dollars on stuff that you don't need, that you can do yourself. I still try all of the marketing companies because that's kind of my job. My job is to spend the money and waste the money so you don't have to. The other thing that I would take away is Kickstarters are long, and 30 days is the longest that I can have maximum energy. After 30 days, my brain mentality just falls off. And so I would recommend, if you're doing a Kickstarter, find out how to do it in 30 days, or have a team so that you can go away for a couple of days, come back and be really energized, and have the other people do the same. But for just yourself, just you, if it's just you running the campaign, I highly recommend you don't go more than 30, 31 days because it's just a bear. That being said, thank you everyone who's donated. We want to have all of this stuff ready by Los Angeles Festival of Books. I'm hoping that these ramblings help you some way because I do this all for you, whether it's Business of Art, Wannabe Press, or Kickstarter University. This is all for you, the fans. So get engaged. Find us on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. Find us on Instagram. Join our Snapchat and let us know what you want to see. Let us know what you want to see next. We're about to end this Kickstarter mini season pretty soon, and we want to know what the next thing you guys are interested in is. Meanwhile, check us out on Kickstarter. My Father Didn't Kill Himself. Go to Kickstarter University or freekickstartercourse.com and register for your free account. And I hope to see all of you at Long Beach Comic Expo. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.